woman they erased. For most of the staff at Redwood Memorial Hospital, the woman everyone called Mop Lady didn't even have a name. She arrived before sunrise and left after midnight, her presence announced only by the soft squeak of a janitor's cart or the faint smell of antiseptic trailing behind her. Her hair was streaked with gray and pulled tight into a bun that never moved. Her scrubs were always clean but clearly old, washed in by years that no one bothered to ask about. Dr. Evan Markham, the ER's golden boy, once joked that she looked like she'd stepped out of a medical museum. "She's still breathing?" He laughed one night, nodding toward her as she wiped dry blood from a trauma bay floor. "Or is she just running on habit?" The residents laughed. The nurses smirked. Even security joined in. The woman didn't react. Her name was Evelyn Cross, and she had learned a long time ago that silence was safer than explanation. 1. Redwood Memorial prided itself on speed. Fast intubations, fast scans, fast discharges. But speed didn't equal competence, and Evelyn saw that every night. She saw residents miss collapsed veins because they rushed. She saw interns panic when a patient crashed instead of trusting their hands. She saw nurses freeze when monitors screamed, and she said nothing. Because 3 months earlier, when she had calmly corrected a dosage error that would have killed a patient, the charge nurse had pulled her aside. "You're here to clean," the woman hissed, "not to play doctor." Evelyn had nodded and gone back to work. From that moment on, she became invisible by design. They mocked the way her hands shook slightly when metal trays clattered. They teased her for flinching when stretchers slammed into walls. They called her Ghost because she appeared and disappeared without a sound. No one asked why. 2. The night everything changed started like any other. Rain lashed against the ambulance bay. The ER was overflowing. Drunks, overdoses, chest pains that weren't chest pains. Dr. Markham strutted between rooms, confidence dripping from every movement. "Another routine night," he announced. "Try not to kill anyone." Laughter followed him. Evelyn was mopping near Trauma 2 when the floor vibrated. Once, twice. Then came the sound she hadn't heard in years. Rotor blades. Her spine went rigid. The mop slipped from her hand and clattered to the floor. Across the ER, monitors beeped. Staff paused, confused, as the deep thunder of a Blackhawk helicopter rattled the windows. "What the hell?" someone muttered. Security rushed to the entrance just as the automatic doors burst open. Men in flight suits stormed inside, rain-soaked, faces carved from stone. At their center walked a man with silver hair, shoulders heavy with stars. A Rear Admiral. His voice cut through the chaos like a blade. "I need Evelyn Cross. Now." Silence slammed into the room. Dr. Markham blinked. "I'm the attending physician." The Admiral didn't even look at him. "I didn't ask for a doctor," he said coldly. "I asked for her." 3. Confusion spread like wildfire. Nurses whispered. Residents stared. Security froze. "Who?" someone asked. The Admiral turned slowly, his gaze scanning the room until it landed on the far corner of the trauma bay, on the woman standing perfectly still beside a mop bucket. "There," he said. "That's her." Every head turned. Evelyn met his eyes, and for the first time in 3 months, she straightened her posture. She walked forward. Each step felt like crossing a battlefield. Dr. Markham laughed nervously. "Sir, that's our cleaning staff. If this is a prank." The Admiral's eyes snapped to him. "Doctor," he said quietly, "that cleaning staff woman has saved more soldiers under fire than your entire department has treated patients." The room went dead silent. For they cleared Trauma 1 in seconds. The patient arrived wrapped in blood-soaked combat gear, an operator with shrapnel embedded deep near his spine. His vitals were unstable, his breathing ragged. Dr. Markham rushed forward. "We need imaging." "No," Evelyn said. It was the first time most of them had heard her voice. Calm, controlled, absolute. She stripped on gloves as she moved. "You don't have time." Markham bristled. "You're not authorized." "Step aside," the Admiral ordered. Reluctantly, Markham did. Evelyn assessed the wound with one glance. "Internal bleed. Fragment migrated when he was moved," she said. "If you scan him, he dies." She turned to the nurses. You, 2 large-bore IVs. Now, not ultrasound-guided. Use your hands. They hesitated. Move, she snapped. They moved. 5. What followed didn't look like modern medicine. It looked like war. Evelyn worked with brutal efficiency, hands steady despite the chaos. She gave instructions without raising her voice. She anticipated complications before monitors caught them. When the patient crashed, she didn't flinch. She opened the chest. Right there, in the ER, Dr. Markham turned pale. She's insane. She's precise, the Admiral corrected. Evelyn controlled the bleed with fingers that knew exactly where to press. She worked blind, guided by memory carved into muscle and bone. Minutes stretched like hours. Then the monitor steadied. A heartbeat. Strong. Alive. 6. No one spoke when she stepped back. Her gloves were red. Her breathing slow. She peeled them off and finally looked around the room. At the stunned nurses. At the doctors who had laughed at her. At Dr. Markham, whose mouth hung open. I'll need a proper surgical suite now, she said evenly, and someone competent to assist. Dr. Markham swallowed. Yes, ma'am. 7. Later, after the patient was stable and transferred, the Admiral stood beside her near the ambulance bay. You disappeared, he said quietly. Evelyn shrugged. I was tired. He nodded. They didn't deserve you. She glanced back at the ER, where staff whispered her name with awe instead of contempt. No, she said, but maybe now they'll remember what medicine is supposed to look like. She picked up her mop and walked away.